Good morning, Cheshire Police. How can I help?
I'd like to report my son as a missing person.
Okay, how old's your son?
He's 5.5.
And what's happened?
My ex-partner stopped me seeing him, and my solicitors are concerned because they cannot trace him anywhere.
And what's your son's name?
Tyler Hardy.
Tyler's father, John, has been involved in an access battle ever since his former partner, Tracy, stopped allowing him to see his son 2 years ago. PC's Chris Howard and Jazz Kaur are dispatched to Tracy's last known address.
I've checked it. There's no sign of any children's toys or any paraphernalia that belongs to children.
We're looking for any evidence the child exists at that address, so clothes, drawings, pictures, toys, that sort of stuff. There's nothing here.
Dad hasn't seen his son for 2 years. Nobody's seen the child, so that is the focus of the investigation. The threat is that there's some harm come to the child. We need to see him. We need to see that child safe and well. So you went to her place of work?
She comes down in the lift, a bit nervous looking, but I just put that down to the fact that she was told the police were waiting for her in the foyer. Spoke to her, she has no knowledge at all about Tyler or this ex-husband or ex-partner, no knowledge whatsoever, claims that she's not that person. I have the internet on my tablet, and I show her bits of what's reported.
Yeah.
And she just totally denies everything, says that's not me. And then we come to the conclusion together, we've got the wrong person.
So she's denied even knowing?
She said she didn't know anything about Tyler, she'd never heard of Tyler, and she didn't know anything about the names that I read off the job.
Despite her denial, a search of records reveals court custody documents relating to a Tracy Hardy on Byron Street.
Yeah, I've been back and spoken to Tracy. When asked about letters from court, she confirms that she's had them in her name. Repeatedly attempted to contact courts to explain that they're not for her, and she doesn't know this Tracy and Tyler. It's still not making any sense.
He sent us this, hasn't he?
That was when I spoke to him on the phone. He sent that picture.
Tracy's there on this photograph, and he's lying on the floor with Tyler on his back. They all look happy. They're all together in one place. Her story is, I don't know who you're talking about, I'm sorry. That's the most bizarre thing anybody could ever say. That's what's standing out to me. We're talking, I've been in the police now 17 years, and I've never known a mother of a child say, I haven't got a child.
Tracy's come to Macclesfield Police Station. She's agreed to give a voluntary interview to detectives.
Could you just state your full name, please, Tracy?
Tracy Ann Hardy.
Can you just tell me who was in those images?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
John?
Yeah. That's you and that's John in those photos. When this investigation started on Friday, you had 2 visits from police officers that night, and you lied to them about John.
I can explain why I lied. The first occasion was in the middle of reception in the town hall where I work. I've only worked there 2 months. I'm not going to fess up in the middle of customer services. The second time he came was the Friday night. I'd had a bottle and a half of wine at this point, and my partner was stood next to me there, breathing over my shoulder. I couldn't have done it in front of him.
What's she saying then? She absolutely adamant.
Yeah, she's still adamant that...
There's no child, there's never been a child, he's mad, and he's making it all up.
Yeah.
Right.
Simon Hiley is one of the officers interviewing Tracy.
I folded the picture in half and showed it to her and said, can you confirm that's you? Yes. Yeah. Right, who's that? That's John, my ex-partner. Right, you agree that that's your ex-partner. Where are you? That's at his sister's address. OK, right. Now explain, who's that?
What did she say?
Can't remember. I was drinking a lot at the time.
Cup of tea.
It could have been one of his relatives. She said the relationship would have ended about 2012. He ended the relationship by text message. They had some contact for a few weeks afterwards, mainly abusive between the two of them.
Yeah.
She said he then would be sat outside her address in his car, didn't approach her, didn't speak to her. She just said, it was weird, and in her words, just more of his weird behaviour. And then after a couple of months, it just stopped.
Okay. So Charlie was born in 2012, but then since then, there's absolutely nothing in relation to a young child that's there.
We've never met the child, have we?
No, nobody has by the sounds of it.
Does that lead you to believe him?
There's no child.